think these coils going. One, one, four. We're joined by Grumpy Seal today. Look it up. Look at that grumpy face. Or I'll save you, Olive. Good afternoon, Dion. Hashtag Atlas. No, it's just Atlas, isn't it? Don't forget. Let me just put this up. Banners. Vape It with Les. The return. So we're going to relaunch that site, doing the videos again. And that's the Earl. It's a temporary Earl because I've only just opened up the channel. So, but you go and give us a subscribe if you would, and we'll change its name. I think it's after 30 days you can change it. But the first thing I'm doing, I think it showed up the other day in one of the videos, is that. I'm going to go and look at that. So this is the Vandevape Pulse 2. It's got a whole new different chip in it, and I've had a quick look at it inside, and it's a lot nicer feeling than the other ones. A lot nicer feeling. This particular one is the Obsidian Black. You know, like they did on that Jacaro, the panels that were Obsidian. That's the same kind of panel. Absolutely lovely. So I'm going to be doing a video on that in the next few days. Oh, that's going to be good. And new flavour for you. Look at that, baby. Tobacco Scotch. And now it's not whiskey, it's butterscotch tobacco. Right, so it's net tobaccos, and I've used the Canadian one in this. So it's going to get a natural sweetness, which is going to be going really nicely with that butterscotch flavour, isn't it? So it's giving it that natural sweet. There's no sweeteners out in this. There is flavourings in it as well because I've enhanced that tobacco flavour. But again, we've got butterscotch. And I can tell you, another one of them. If you like Macca's RY4 or possibly Tabilla, you're probably going to like that. It's sweeter than Tabilla, but if you like Macca's, you're going to like that as well. It's the same kind of thing, but whereas Macca's is more caramel and RY4, this is butterscotch. Chin chin. Look at that. That's a good half-hour coffee. That, can you see me little slick on top? That's gold dust. That chocolate powder. Go and give us a sub. There's a link in the comments bit as well. Overcast in Chester. Good afternoon, Carl. Dude. It's a dude now, Carl. It's official. I think it was John that called you a dude, wasn't it, John Farlam? Oh dear. He digs his speaker, dude. Speaking of which, I'm not sure if it were either John Farlam or Carl Huff, I think. But it's spelled. I don't know why. I've no doubt he's going to fire back for that. Do you remember me telling you last week about the plant that I had no name for years and years and years. I never found out what it was. The bloke I got it off, he didn't know what it was either. Well, it were either Carl. Well, I'm not. I can't make my mind up. You tell me. This is the plant. I know it's a bit raggy looking now, right? But really, this plant, all it does is that. It looks like an onion, right? That's why they call it a climbing onion, right? That's its common name, and I wonder why it does actually look like an onion. In actual fact, it's got no relation to onions whatsoever. But I'll bring these leaves up. Now, that plant itself is about 10 years old, so, you know, it's a long-lived plant, and it's as tough as old nails. You've got to keep it moist all the time. Not wet because it'll rot, but not dry. It'll tell you when it needs watering because it'll shrivel. Do you know what I mean? But it don't matter, don't panic. It'll go all like soft. Water it again and it'll swell back up again. Because it's a plant from South Africa. Probably Namibia as well. Anyway, this is all matted up because it's been climbing. But that's the plant. And that's all it does, is it produces these lovely, I mean, I'm saying lovely, if you get a little trellis, some little trellis and a plant pot up it, you know what I mean? You can get them at garden centres. This growing up it, it's fabulous because it's just ferny, lovely leaves, and it does flower, but the flowers are really pretty much a waste of time. That's a flower bud. I don't even know if it'll pick that up. That is a bud, believe it or not. And that, they're the remnants of old flowers. And they're only little tiny green things. They're insignificant, really. You grow it for this. So it looks fabulous. So I think I've only ever potted that one twice in its life. And it literally will bust the pot. So it's a very solid onion, right? And it's inside it is just like an onion, you know, layer after layer after layer. So you can peel it and peel it and peel it. Now, this is just a fern that's popped up. I don't know where they come from, ferns in my greenhouse. I've got ferns all over the place, and some of them are gigantic. Some of them, I think I put photos up. There must be a good 5-6 feet tall ferns with huge. I mean, the fronds are this wide, and they come out like this with side leaves, and they're like big umbrellas. They're actually called elephant ferns. And they've come in from Thailand and places like that where they've come in with the orchids that have been grown over there, but obviously they've come in as a spore in the compost. And then over the years that I've had the plants, they've grown and, you know, they've just kind of gone everywhere. So all of these different weird ferns, and I've seen this, I don't know what particular species this is, but I've seen these available in garden centres. You know what I mean? But I've never bought one. So where the hell did that come from? Don't know. It's not a native plant. Anyway, that's the adult plant. Its proper name, instead, I've got the tags in it. Its proper name is Bowia, Bowiea, volubilis. Oof, what a name. Volubilis. Oh, that's its name. Show you. Tag. And that's a baby one. Weird. And what you'll find is if this gets severed, and just to tidy it up once it goes raggy, I just chop it off at the stem, and it will grow another one like this one is here. It will grow another one to replace it. What usually happens when the adult plants is that just as this one starts to go brown like this one is, the bulb itself will start to produce another one out of the same hole at top. So you know that this is going to go brown, if you like, when the other one starts to come. But the interesting thing, one of the most interesting things about this particular plant is the way in which it reproduces, right? It's very strange. I didn't realize this for years, but I'll explain that because I recorded a little video. I told you I was going to record a little video for you. So let's see if I can do this for you. Tell me if you can hear it as well, because I can't bloody well tell. Right, share screen. Make sure I don't share my porn. That one. There you go, share. It's the share audio. Tell me if you can hear it.
Right, so this is the way that this plant propagates itself and reproduces. The climbing onion. You know, like an onion is made up of obviously layers. That's like the layers of an onion. Well, each skin, each one of these domes, you can actually remove as you know, and the onion will get smaller and smaller and smaller. Well, normally when you're potting these things up, what will happen is that you'll get bits that drop off, that shatter, because it's quite brittle material, soft and fleshy, but quite brittle. But it also dies naturally anyway, and it goes papery like this, so you peel it off. And anyway, it starts to look a bit untidy, so you'll repot it, and you get bits drop off. Now, normally, because I've had this thing, like I said, a long time, about 10 years, normally I would just throw this in the bin. But I noticed a few years ago, when I hadn't emptied my bin for a while, that this had happened. And this is what's going on, look. It's actually, oh, this is a piece of the onion itself, you know, a piece of a wall, if you like. And on every cut surface, you've an opportunity for one of these little plants to grow. Look at that. So every time I pot these up, I save these, look, these little shards. And we end up with a little plant. Look at that. Isn't that just amazing? I mean, it's tiny little bits as well. It's not necessarily a big chunky bit. I mean, look at that. Dried piece of paper almost. This is a little... That's a complete string of them, look. So you just basically break these off. I'll demonstrate it for you. It's as simple as that. That's it. That's as difficult as it gets. And this piece, I will put to one side again, like dry up, and it'll start to grow another one. And that's your little plant for potting on. So yeah, that's how easy this is. A very, very strange plant. Anyway, I told you I'd do that. So back to the video.
So there you go. Very strange indeed, is that, isn't it? And it took me years to find them little green bits growing, because I've been throwing them away for years. What a bizarre plant. Because I've got them all over at greenhouse now. This one will take, well, 10 years to get to that size. I do have some strange things. That is mad. That is a strange, mad plant. I used to do a lot of carnivorous plants. We used to sell carnivorous plants, easy carnivores, we were called bug traps. And some of them plants are absolutely fascinating. Everybody knows the Venus flytrap, which actually only comes from one very, very small area of Carolina in America. It grows in really sandy bogs. But there's carnivorous plants from all around the world, of every bloody form you can imagine, including aquatic ones. And you know, it's unbelievable. Oh, some of the plants I've had 20 or 30 a year. I've got some cactus that's no bigger than that, right? And I've had them for, oh dear me, about 26 years. I've got one that stands about that tall. It's like a hairy man cactus. That's the two of them at the side of each other. And I've had that one longer. Must have had that one nearly 30 years. If you grow orchids, you have to be very, very patient. You have to be very, very patient. Because if you're growing them from seed or little tiny seeds, you know the little plants that you see in bottles? If you're growing them from them and then expecting flowers, you're looking, most instances, between 4 and 8, 9 years before you're going to see a flower. Speaking of which, I just happened to be looking at my other site other day. If you're not from this site, it's the orchid species, because I used to sell orchid species, but I've grown orchids since I was about this big. And I was looking at some of the deflasking videos that I showed you, where we're up in the lab taking the little seedlings out, all sterile and that, doing it and potting them on. And some of them plants now are coming into flower for the first time. So it's their videos were 6 years ago. So I think I'll do some follow-up videos on them. The plants that I've still got, because a lot of them are sold, like. So the plants that I've still got of the ones that are in the deflasking videos, I'll do an update as to this is how it was 6 years ago, and this is how it is now, and this is the flow. Going to be very patient. Chin chin. If anybody wants to come on, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, the new channel. That's the link there. It's also in the, I put it in the comments as well at the top. That should be it. I think it's a link, I'm not too sure, to be honest. That is the Juice Cabin group. Earl, if you would like to go over there, there is discount vouchers for short fills and what have you. So that's me shop, if you like. Well, that's the group for the shop. What else we got on here? If you wanted to come and join the chat here with me, that's the Earl. I'll leave that running on there for you. And I'll go back up here. Yeah, it's just, you know, I've always been interested in plants. Well, plants and animals, really. I've had every kind of animal you can imagine. I used to sell them, didn't I? I used to sell every creature. And some of the stuff I bet you wouldn't believe. David Attenborough, he got a nice collection of animals and that and all. He likes his wild animal. I don't know if he's still got them, to be honest. He's getting on a bit now, isn't he? What do you reckon to Gumpy Seal then? Now, sadly, Liam didn't do a little video for us this week, for which I called him a twat bag, which he is. He said he was trying to egg me on to do the review of this. Whatever. So I ain't got a little video to drop in for you. However, I have got a little video about my rocks. And I know you're sick of hearing about it, but I'm only doing the one barrel. You know, I do a complete video where I show you all the lot, so that would... Oh, somebody at the door. I'm going to put this video on, right, while I go and get that door. That's a good idea, isn't it? So, share video. Share audio. Chrome. Week 6 short. Share.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, on the little square. It's Les here over at the Rock Room, as you can see behind me. I'll just knock this up. And it's time for our weekly update on the rocks that we've been doing for the last 6 weeks. No, it's actually Friday night as I speak, because I'm not going to get a chance to do this in the morning. So without further ado, what I'm going to do, we're going to get straight over here and we're going to look at the large barrel that we've got, which is the one that's been added to over a period of these 5 weeks as we've removed some of the rocks. The second barrel is the one that we've already been running on 400 grit now for a fortnight. That should be ready to move on to 600 grit. And finally, on the end, we've got a small barrel which had the Larvakite chunks in it. So we'll have a look at that as well. So let's have a look over here in the actual sieve and see what we've got. Right, so I've already turned it off. Just going to get the lid off. Right, so we've got a nice thick paste, as you can see. That's a lovely thick paste. And that's the borax doing a wonderful job. And the stone slurry, of course. Let's just give these a quick rinse. Like magic, isn't it? Look at the colours in there. Now I chucked a couple of sections of this in as well. This is that. In fact, I'll zoom in for you. See if it's picking picking that up. Can you see the glitters in that? Look, can you see? Like abalone shell. This is the one I was saying last week. It looks like it's got fish scales embedded in it. This is the one I always get the letters wrong way around. Larvacite. Larkybite. It's all got one. That's another chunk. This is a lovely blue laced agate. Isn't that gorgeous? Lovely. Look at the banding in that. Sounds like toffee. What else we got here? Lovely quartz material. Right in there. It might be an agate of some description. Oh, lovely, isn't it? What else we got? This is that pebble. Remember last week I did a pebble? Cut it in half. That's the piece that I chopped off. And that come up lovely. If you can hear some banging in the background, that's the rain. I've a little bit chucking it down outside. That's not ready. Look, you see how it's undercut. Them grooves that you can see is where a softer material has given way. So that's a bit of crap, really. Most of these now seem to be carnelians, which is these orange types, and a lot of grey stuff. I'm not sure what that is. It's just grey, like it's like that shark colour. Anyway, I'll pick through these and find out the ones that's ready to move on, and they'll go into the glass jar to join the rest, and then I'll put these back on. I'll be right back. Right, so I've removed the stones from the sieve, and that's the amount that I've got so far out of this barrel. Now these stones are in the same condition as these stones were in last week, if you remember, because I put these 2 weeks ago. I put these on 400 quid. So the majority of these stones in this barrel is the ones that we originally started on with like 6 weeks ago, because the other barrel is full of top-ups, if you like. So there's not many stones in that big barrel that's left from the original first week. Most of them have gone in here, and they're in this glass jar as well, this glass I've just shown. So we've got the stones back in, as you can see. Just get rid of this a sec. As you can see, that's my slurry bucket underneath. Never throw it in the sink. What I tend to do with this is I've got a couple of these buckets on go because it's not convenient to throw it away. So what I do is I put this bucket, when it's full, I put it down and I leave it for about 4 days. And after about 4 days, all the solids in it have dropped to the bottom. And then I can pour the top clear bit down the sink, keeping the remainder in the bottom so it gets thicker and thicker and thicker with slurry. And then I can dispose of it all at once. Anyway, that's how many I've got in there. Look, it's not quite half full. So what I'm going to have to do, because what I want to do this time is that I don't want to, in fact, look, I found some spare ones in need of more 80 grit. So I'll use some of them just to top up this barrel. Now, so we're now 3/4 full. So I'm just going to put the grit back in that, and then I can put it back on. So for our lunchtime viewers, that's it. We'll get back to the main video now. However, for our lapidary people, the people that enjoy this, and it's not just for vaping, will move on.
There you are again. Coming on now, them, aren't they? It's quite amazing, the transformation. If you remember what they looked like from start, where they were like rough chunks, you know, just chunks of rock, weren't they? They've got considerably smaller, like, haven't they? As they've been worn down by that grit. But now we're on to 600. You haven't seen that bit of video. If you're interested in it, watch the other full version of this. So we're on to 600. So we'll have a week or two on that, and then 1 week after that we're on pre-polish, and then we're on to polish. It'll be like glass then. Getting stoned with Les. Brilliant. Love player gave me rocks out anyway. Always gave me rocks off. I'll put you that cup in as well, Scott. I don't know which address you're at, so in fact, send me an email. You've got my email address, haven't you? Send me an email, and then I can get it sorted for you. Because I know I'm going to forget this. You've got my email, lespicking@hotmail.com. So yeah, Vape It with Les is back. That's good, isn't it? So what I've actually done, Kev suggested calling it Vaping with Les, which I thought were a good idea. But I thought I'll stick with. But then other people said, "Well, we won't Vape It with Les because that's the logo and everything like it." So anyway, I've been able to reuse that little intro that Ryan did for us. Remember that? But it also means that all these T-shirts are still valid. That's brilliant, isn't it? It's not like good value. Oh, dear me. What can you do? What can you do? Mother's at home. Dog is in the vets this Friday. Not looking forward to that. I hope he's okay. 10-year-old now, like. And he's got a dicky ticker. You know, he's had 2 operations on his ticker, hasn't he? You remember too? He's had 2 sort of emergencies with it. Oh, that's going to be awful, isn't it? He's going to not be able to eat on one side. Masha, when I get that bill, I might not be able to. 160? No. Yeah, 160. 160 quid is what it cost us when we had Oscar's tooth out, and that's the dog that we had before these two. So that must have been about probably 13 years ago. It was 160 quid for Bill to have the tooth out. 700 quid. 700 quid. That's ridiculous, isn't it, for a tooth out? I'm going to take him to the vet and say, my baby, it's just one of them hairy babies, and he's buck toothed. Can we just take his tooth out? It's NHS. That's the link for the YouTube channel. I'll put it up on screen as well. There you go, that's the link. But I have put it in the chat. I don't know if it's actually turned up as a link in the chat or if it's just text. I don't know how that works because I'm not seeing it at your end line. Now, apart from my rocks, which Mum is doing very well, thank you. Carl, she's put it on screen. There you go. She's doing very well. Thank you, Dion. She's just subscribed. I don't actually know who Dion78 is. Is it one of my customers? Never know these names. I've done. Have you subbed, Scott? Go and sub. Come on. Or I'll piss in this cup before I send it. I'll show you this cup because you haven't seen this cup, have you? This is the cup printing. I did this other week for him, but I've been waiting for him to put an order in because I'm tired. Well, I'm not tired. I don't like wasting unnecessary postage. Anyway, he's a fan of motorbikes, big motorbikes. But in particular, one, do you call them motorbikelists? I don't know what you call them. Cyclists? No, it's not cyclists, is it? Anyway, that's his thing. It's not that red in reality. And that's his number on his motorbike. And that's him thing. So it's Mr. Rossi, I think, isn't it? Valentino Rossi, I think. This is freebie for him. He's been up to the shop as Scott has been a customer from the beginning. Him and Cassie, his missus. As I say, the man that travels more places I've never known anybody get as many days out as that lad. They're either paying him too much money or they want him out the bloody office. I'm not too sure which it is. No comment. I have bought of you fruit baskets. Quite a few have bought fruit baskets. I don't know if your name is Dion or if Dion78 is a cipher. Like 007. Like Carl. Carl. Who's called that? So it's got to be a made up name, hasn't it? Sounds Flemish, whatever it is. She's got a bad chest at the minute, my mum, actually. She's got, I think I told you before, she's got a granuloma. I think they call it granuloma, which is an infection that she's had some past history, like, that's never really got cleared up. And it's walled off by your body. It creates like a calcium shell around it, really, turns it into a nut. But it can then start to get inflamed around it, starts to interfere with things, you know. Probably body attacking it and stuff like that. And anyway, it makes a lot of phlegm. So she's been using albus oil, you know, that stuff that you drop in water, eucalyptus, and then you put your bag out your head over a thing. She's using that, which makes her cough it up, which is really good because if it's out, it's not in. You know what I mean? So it does make it better, but she's been having a bit of a coughing do recently. So yeah, other than that, she's championship. I've left her do it dinner. We're having shepherd's pie, which is rather odd because we don't like lamb. So I hope she hasn't used a real shepherd, because she knows I don't like lamb. What she means is a cottage pie. They all look the same. They do. Looks the same, doesn't it? Who else we got on here? Wicked Vapor, looking good. I don't know what that means. Oh, that's... I can't pull that face. Fruit pastel, that's a lot of fruit pastel. It's nice, that fruit pastel, man, isn't it? Oh. Burundi. This is Burundi, African Burundi. Micro. Absolutely fantastic. So, here's a question for you. On the YouTube channel with vaping, Is it now an 18+ channel? You have to make it for adults only, the entire channel. I'm still not quite sure about that. I know you can't monetize them because I've already put one little video, a little silly little video I put up. The one that I did for that competition thing. I put it up the day, one that I found on my computer. Well, I put that up, and normally on the other ones I can monetize them. I mean, they make me a full 20p a month, but it's there, like, isn't it? But not on that. They won't like that being monetized. So they're still, not really getting a grip to it with the other. You know what I mean? They're not just treating it as a good thing. It's still a negative thing in their eyes, isn't it? Otherwise, you'd be able to monetize it. But at least they haven't deleted it yet. But I think the problem is that I will put in links. I don't think you're allowed to put links in anything here anymore. I don't think you're allowed to do anything like that. So I'm not even going to say that we sell any of this stuff, even though we do, which is ridiculous, isn't it? You can't tell people that you're selling your own stuff. But nevertheless, if that's how it is, that's how it is. So you'll just have to work out for yourself that you can get it from us. What can you do, really? It does look nice, though, all this. I'll have a quick sneak. And don't talk about... That was PayPal. That one. Oh, yeah, YouTube did that as well, didn't they? Previously. For a really old video. Oh, baby. That's all you're getting for now. Just feel really nice, though, I have to say. Very shiny on top. A little bit fingerprinty. Perhaps. Very nice. We'll play with that at the weekend. It's bank holiday this Monday, isn't it? So we'll not be sending out any orders Monday because there is no APC. So don't be expecting your orders on Monday because there ain't no post. It's bank holiday. I've got this tool for you. Well. Feels nice and shiny on top. Have I got a good gleam on? Oh, I tell you what, I know. I'm not going to show you because it'll make you feel sick. But I said other month that my toe went black. Well, what it is, I've got a pair of trainers and they must be just a little bit too tight on little toe. On the very edge of the little toe, what it had done, it had pushed it in enough, and I couldn't feel it, you see. It had pushed it in enough to have cut off the blood supply to that section of my toe. You know where you would traditionally get a corn on your little toe? It had cut off a circle, probably about that big, which doesn't seem big, but it is on your little toe. A circle, like a bed silver, you know what I mean, with it being pushed on when I'd done a long day, you know what I mean? So when I got home, I mean, my foot were hurting at this point, but I just started putting on my feet. So I kicked my shoes off, and my toe went, and it come out, it looked like a bleeding grape, and it were all red. Anyway, day after, it looked really manky. it had swelled up, and it were horrible looking. So I stabbed it. I thought, I'll stag it. So I stagged it because I thought, well, it's going to be full of pus or something, old blood or something. So anyway, I stagged it with a scalpel, and no, it happened. It was like solid. It was spongy solid. So it must have been meat, that. So anyway, I popped it on other side the day after because it had gone like baggy. So I popped it on that. Oh, that's supposed to come out. Like pinky yellow. Nasty, nasty. But anyway, I had to squeeze all the pus out of it. Right, yeah, I'll be enjoying your lunch. I was squeezing all the pus out of it onto some paper, and it's kind of dried up now a little bit. So that's good. So that's what it is. The culprit was my bloody shoes. So that's them finished, isn't it? Just shows you, doesn't it? Just a little bit of pressure. Not enough to really hurt you, so you'd think, oh, I can't stand that. Just enough so that you know it's a little bit tight. And it had pushed on all day. And it had pushed on enough to stop all circulation in a patch. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen to it yet. Like, it ain't gone black this time, so that's good. So at the minute, I ain't got no shoes on. Ooh, you got a picture of me bollocks then. Woo! Have a look at them hairy rocks. Erskine Vapor ordered some butterscotch nets. Very good. That's the deliciousness. Have you just ordered that today? If you ordered it yesterday, if you're the person that's just ordered it yesterday, I've just boxed it up, ready to take. Very tasty. That's my Oh, you have got a dirty mind. Yeah, it's daft. It's true though, isn't it? I mean, when you actually go onto YouTube and you look at the videos, you can get videos on guns, marijuana, but you can't uncover the. Well, you can, but you're not supposed to. It just doesn't make any sense, does it? But that's just. I think it's because a lot of it is they're all Americans, aren't they? So. Cardi B singing about pussy. Ooh, like that pussy, pussy. You got a cat, we've got a dog. You've got to have a dog. Right, I asked Liam the other day, I says, who should I be on my first video? You know, first video. And he says, why don't you be yourself? Never thought about that. So I'm not coming. Have we had any subs while I've been on? Let's have a look. We've got an awful lot of people in the group. I think there's 2,600 people in the group, and there's only 80 odd people that's subscribed, which is a bit disappointing to say the least. Come on. Oh, we've had one. Get your fingers out. Get your buttons pressed. Let me get rid of this screen. Go. That's a good thing about this one as well as it takes all 3 batteries. That's another difference, you know, between this and the other ones. Apart from it being a new chip, takes them. Oh, I can't show you Samsung. It's not a Samsung. It's a Samsung. Not a Samsung. Samsung. It's similar, but different. These are meant for electronic organs for singing. I've run out of coffee now. Oh, that's what just come. That's what would do it. Would just postman with an extension cable for the wall. This is for in the kitchen. you know, for all different things. Speaking of which, just out of interest, if anybody's wanting to have a little go at this rocks a lark, I've got a few different machines coming in, so they'll be available on Cabin Mods if you're interested in any of that stuff. It's going to be a couple of weeks yet, like, but yeah, I want to get a couple in because you know there is a lot of interest. You know, there is a lot of people would like to get into it. You don't have to buy the rocks. You just go if you've got somewhere near beaches or like that. Just go and get them. Easy peasy. Or all mines. They're a good, usually a good hunting ground. Right. Well, it's been 3/4 of an hour. We've got quite a bit more to do. So I'm going to call it a day. There's nobody on to chat to. I think we've been through everything. Keep your eyes peeled for the video. I'm going to do it, like I said, over this weekend at some point. Week being bank holiday, that's going to give me an extra day into it, so that's all right. But I want to do a nice video for this time round. You know what I mean? Get back into it because I need your support with that. Anyway, I'm going to call it a day. Thank you all for joining me this afternoon. It's been a pleasure as usual. And like I said, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the Vape Village channel. Give us a thumbs up, and I shall catch you later. Adieu. If I can find the button. Miss me mouse. Stay here.